Guys can have eating disorders too. Hey, I'm Rachel. This is I'm Bringing Healthy Back, and on this channel, on this podcast, I talk about healing your relationship with food and body image. I want to disclaim that this podcast is not advocating for eating disorders or self-harm. I want you guys to heal. So please take care while listening. But today, talking about guys can have eating disorders too. So if you think of eating disorders, who has them? You think girls. I mean, I do. I'm a girl, so that's just what I think of too. And honestly, girls are the majority, but guys are not immune to struggling with their relationship with food and their body image. So, I looked up some stats, and looking at the NIH website, the National Institute of Mental Health, the prevalence of binge eating disorder. Females are twice as likely as males to struggle with binge eating. Bulimia, females are 5 times more likely to struggle. Anorexia, females are 3 times more likely than males. But in saying that, guys still struggle with the eating disorders. And according to ANAD.org, men represent up to 25% of people with eating disorders, but women are more likely to be diagnosed. So ANAD.org is the National Association of Anorexia Nervosa and Associated Disorders. So also from that same website, men tend not to recognize their symptoms as disordered. Healthcare professionals tend to minimize symptoms of men with eating disorders. And that, I wonder if that goes along with the stereotype, like why don't professionals realize that? Or is it that guys don't talk about it? I don't know. I'm not sure which way it goes. But by the time men with eating disorder symptoms present in the healthcare system, so either like a doctor or physician notices, or a man expresses it to his healthcare professional, their cases tend to be more severe in comparison to women. And reading that made me sad. Just because it's recognized so late in the game. So like with girls, you think of girls who have eating disorders, you think thin. Why do girls they want to be thin, they want to be toned. And like sometimes that's something that leads ladies down a path of having an unhealthy relationship with food, but guys might have an unhealthy relationship with food as well, but for slightly different reasons. They may want to be lean and muscular. And so it's just different, but it's still a struggle and disordered thoughts surrounding food, how they're eating, what they're eating, and their body. You may not see men struggling with disordered eating, but just like with women, just anyone, just because you don't see it doesn't mean that struggle doesn't exist. And like in that same vein, eating disorders are not gender specific. So just as I've spoken in previous episodes, like don't comment on people's bodies, don't comment on what they're eating, how they're eating, when they're eating. That goes for the guys and the gals. So if you guys, I'll link some, like the ANAD website, I'll link that down below. I'll also link below for the US, it's the Suicide and Crisis line. It's 988 is the phone number if you are struggling. The ANAD also has a website. Well, they have a website. They have a phone number, and I can link that down below too. But just going back to, anyone can have an eating disorder. Anyone can have an unhealthy relationship with food and their body image. And look out for your friends, look out for your brothers, look out for whatever guy is in your life. And I know guys tend to joke more with themselves or with each other, amongst each other, about their body and how they look, and it's, quote, just a joke. But I don't know, maybe it's because I'm a girl, but it's still mean. Okay, it's still mean, and you never know who's actually struggling. And like, sometimes the stereotype of guys just don't talk about their feelings. Like, you might have hurt their feelings, and that might be influencing their exercise routine, their diet, and they don't need that. They need to be healthy just as much as you or I. They need to be eating well, fueling their body well, moving their body in a healthy way, just like everyone else. So guys are big and tough, but they need the love and support and the health advocacy just as much as you or I do. So guys, if you are out there, I have other episodes on my channel, on my podcast, about healing your relationship with food. So if you need that support, I hope you would like and subscribe or follow if you're listening on podcasts. And if you're someone who doesn't exactly, guys or anyone else who's watching, if you don't exactly know what an eating disorder is, or if your eating is disordered, I did an episode on that. I will leave that podcast episode linked down below. And again, the ANAD website has support and information that you can utilize as well. Until next time, you guys take care.